Prayer today is about freedom. Dear Lord, it is the soldier, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us the freedom to demonstrate. It is the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag. Amen.
Amen. Okay, on November 7th, for the Department on Aging, I approved hiring Dwayne Bidlack in the position of full-time fiscal and budget officer to be effective November 27th, 2023, at the rate of $24.18 per hour at grade 11, step 2, with a 1-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions and will include the acceptance and carryover of accrued vacation time.
Good morning. Okay, today's financials include a supplemental from the Board of DD and their Residential Services Fund Contract Services account. There's a travel request from Emergency Services to attend the 2023 Emergency Management Association of Ohio Winter Conference, and then one also from the Juvenile Court to attend the 2023 Ohio Association of Juvenile Court Judges Winter Meeting. Among the vouchers are $24,850 from the ADP Board to Cable Communications for an Axis camera server for the Geauga County Office Building System, $11,200 from Community Development to Geauga Highway Company for the CDBG program Women's Safe Paving Project, $47,600 from the Sheriff's Office to Flock Group Incorporated for 10 new license plate recognition cameras, and $104,884 from Water Resources to Ohio Machinery Company for a new Caterpillar 305 mini excavator replacing a 1997 Komatsu excavator that was sold at auction. And finally, a revenue certification from the Board of Elections and their special election fund for additional unbudgeted revenue received in 2023.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Mr. Lund?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Mr. Sweet?
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I may be here for a while.
You know we charge per agenda item.
I do as well. Good morning. Items 3 and 4 are two projects that we put out for bid recently. Item 3, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board award the bid to the Ohio Bridge Corporation for the replacement of the Robinson Road Bridge structure GEA 0076-0188 in Chariton Township in the amount of $1,478,981.15, as they represented the lowest and best bid. The bid bond submitted shall be held to serve as a performance bond for this project.
Great. So moved. Second?
Mr. Lund?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Mr. Sweet?
And item 4, County Engineer's Office requesting the board award the bid to Roniak Paving Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Munn Road, County Highway 32, Section E and F in Auburn and Newberry Townships in the amount of $482,220, as they represented the lowest and best bid, and the bid bond will be held as a performance bond.
Okay, so moved. Second?
Mr. Lund?
Yes.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Mr. Sweet?
Thank you. Items 5 and 6 are final change orders for projects for 2023. Item number 5, the County Engineer's Office requesting the board approve and execute change order number 1 and final, decreasing the contract with Cargo Companies Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Old State Road, County Highway 006, Section A, and Farmington Road, County Highway 18, Sections A through C in Parkview Township, in the amount of $59,898.31.
Make a motion.
Second?
Mr. Lund?
Aye.
Mr. DeBoer?
Yes.
Mr. Sweet?
And item number 6, similarly, the engineer's office requesting the board execute change order number 1 and final, decreasing the contract with Aeromark Companies for the application of polyester pavement markings for 2023 in the amount of $1,700.12.
So moved.
Second? With a question?
Yes, sir.
Are they doing less work for the decrease?
Less mileage, it's price per mile, so there was some less striping that was performed.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
Items 7 and 8 relate to OPWC projects from 2023. County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and authorize James W. Dvorak, board member and chief executive officer, to execute the Ohio Public Works Commission disbursement request form and certification in order to release funds for the state portion of the OPWC grant for Brakeman Road resurfacing, Section A in Hampton Township, in the amount of $288,080.05.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
And item number 8, similarly requesting the board approve and authorize Mr. Dvorak to sign the disbursement request for Mumford Road, sections A through D in Troy Township, in the amount of $200.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
Aye.
And the last 2 items are 2 easements that we've been working on. Item number 9, County Engineer's Office requesting the board accept and execute a highway easement between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners and David Miller and Ruth Miller, parcel 32-074424, for the culvert and drainage improvements on Mumford Road in Troy Township in the amount of $200.
Okay. Just a quick note, I see there's a misspelling there, Torrey Township, but I'm sure you can. Okay,
Yeah. I
So
think,
moved. Yeah.
I think the paperwork has it correct.
Okay, just
Certainly, yeah.
Sounds good.
Second?
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
I opted not to read it the way it
Yeah.
Really?
Just
Really?
kidding. Just kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
If you know, since Troy Township in the first one.
I know.
At the top.
Yeah.
We have a new township, it's Torrey Township.
We have lots of the township. We like to make them
Did
run.
we annex something?
Something like that. And item number 10, the engineer's office is requesting the board accept and execute a highway easement between Geauga County Board of Commissioners and TVH Land Holdings LLC, parcel 20-062300, for the grading and drainage improvements along Clay Street at GAR Highway in Montville Township in the amount of $1.
Okay, so moved.
Second?
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
That concludes my portion. Thank you.
Real quick, the 2 projects at the beginning, those, when would those start? Would it just, depending on weather, or?
Yeah, one
You
is a
know.
bridge replacement that we are looking for an April-May start.
Okay.
And then the other one is a resurfacing project that has a tentative May 1st start date.
Okay.
So it won't start before May 1st, it may start a little bit after, but it'll be an early spring, summer project.
So you work that out with the contractor, depending on?
Yeah, we
circumstances?
take, any carryover monies that we might have from this year and try to apply it to projects. And then it often gets us a better bid price because they can lock in some work for next year.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we actually utilize 2023's money to start off the season
Okay.
early.
Appreciate it.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah.
Morning. Morning, Rick. How you doing? Good.
Items 11 through 16 represent snow and ice agreements between 6 respective townships, 3 of which plow county roads and 3 of which we plow township roads. Item 11, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the snow and ice control agreement among Geauga County Board of Commissioners, Geauga County Engineer, and the Bainbridge Township Board of Trustees to provide snow and ice control on 13.42 miles of county roads for the winter season 23-24 in the amount of $59,361.86.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Mr. Lundey?
Yes.
Mr. DeWort?
Yes.
Mr. Spillier?
Right.
All right. Item 12, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the snow and ice control agreement among Geauga County Board of Commissioners, Geauga County Engineer, and and Chester Township trustees to provide snow and ice control on 15.09 miles of county roads for the winter season of 23-24 in the amount of $66,748.91.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Item 13, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the snow and ice control agreement among Jogga County Board of Commissioners, Jogga County Engineer, and Russell Township trustees to provide snow and ice control on 8.628 miles of county roads for the winter season of 23-24 in the amount of $38,164.99.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Item 14, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the snow and ice control agreement among Jogga County Board of Commissioners, Jogga County Engineer, and the Clarendon Township trustees to provide snow and ice control on 9.32 miles of township roads for the winter season of 23-24 in the amount of $32,670.
Can I make a motion?
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Item 15, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the snow and ice control agreement among the Jogga County Board of Commissioners, Jogga County Engineer, and the Montville Township trustees to provide snow and ice control on 10.712 miles of township roads for the winter season of 23-24 in the amount of $35,695.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Lastly, item 16, County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the snow and ice control agreement among the Jogga County Board of Commissioners, Jogga County Engineer, and the Troy Township trustees to provide snow and ice control on 11.81 miles of township roads for the winter season of 23-24 in the amount of $35,695.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
All right. Thank you.
Good. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Two.
Morning. Morning. How are you? Good. How are you? Great.
Number 17 is to accept the performance bond and release the bid bond for the snow plowing of the Chardon area.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Number 18 is permission to advertise for bids for Department of Emergency Services in the Clarendon Tower site. We have 2 generators there. Been working with Eric and Mike Santilli from the Sheriff's Office of trying to bring these 2 generators together so if one goes down, because this is a very, very critical building. Even the tower site there, if one goes down, we can piggyback off of the other one. So we've been working on the specs.
With the jail?
This is at the DES building.
Right, but you're saying piggyback with the jail generator?
There's 2 generators there.
Yeah.
Right now at DES building, one's for the tower site and one's for the.
Oh, I see, okay.
At one time, that building was all electric because of the electric savings and everything. That's not the case anymore. So we revamped that and we're looking at using both of those. So if one goes down, we can use the other one also.
And they're both pretty old, I know
Yes.
that much, yeah.
Yes.
So you're planning on replacing both of those, so you're getting 2 generators?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Number 19 is for the chiller unit up at the annex. This takes care of the 3rd and 2nd floor. It's approximately 23 years old, 24 years old, and we got to look at that. So this is to go out for bid to replace that, just the chiller unit itself.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
All right, y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Morning.
Item 20 on the agenda is requesting the board execute the Burton Village facility planning area, working with Burton Village we identified the recent annexation of the Demco property wasn't reflected into their 208 facilities plan. In addition, we identified a couple parcels that were shown as maybe sewered, that are sewered, so we did a full update of the plan working together. We got the Burton Village BPA to approve it, the mayor approved it, so this is just housekeeping from here to go up to NOACA for their final blessing.
Very good. I'll make a motion.
Second?
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes, just real quick, have you heard anything on that Demco property, or is that done? Is there, I mean, are they, any plans moving forward with
I'll
that?
just say there's still people kicking tires around of ideas, so I know there was a piece of it that was sold to Preston, a little bit more of it back to Preston, so, but I think the Demcos are still considering.
Was that not the whole reason why it was all annexed, and that whole big process was because of that?
Yeah, the Demco, to convert it into senior.
And then those plans never went through after COVID, I think, or it just kind of died?
I know the township hasn't seen anything further, you know, granted, it's not part of the JED, it's in the village, so.
Right.
But I do know, there's some sewer that would be required for the village, but all that's gonna be run through the village.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we are moving to executive session for the purpose of discussing the employment of a public employee in the Department on Aging. It will be Ms. Jessica. Jessica and Kathy. Okay. Do we have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Commissioner Levesey?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Is Linda here?
She's here.
Oh, there she is. That sounds like fun.
We're back from executive session at approximately 10:45. Now with some action.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the placement of Karen Fugger on paid administrative leave effective November 15th, 2023, pending the outcome of a MMI exam.
Make the motion?
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Yes. Okay. Agenda item number 23 is to enter into executive session considering the purchase of property for public purposes and the sale of property at competitive bidding pursuant to RC 121.22.
Hold on. we have-
No,
You
no,
missed one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
that's 22.
Okay, yep. So, Commissioner's Office requesting the Board move into executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of a public employee in the Commissioner's Office. Yep, my bad.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
And that will be with myself, Linda, and Kathy.
Okay. So we're back from executive session at 27 with no action. And we will request to go back into executive session for the purpose of considering the purchase of property for public purpose and the sale of property at competitive building. So, do we have a motion for this one?
So moved.
Yep. Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Yes.
No action.
From executive session at 11:58 with some action.
Excuse me, Mr. Spitaleri, would you speak up a little bit louder,
I said
please?
back from executive session.
Thank you.
Jerry.
Yes, the Commissioner's Office requests the Board approve, request the Prosecutor's Office to review the sale agreement, sale agreements regarding the two parcels, the Chase Building and the Dollar Bin property.
Okay, for review. Okay. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
All right. So you can get that sent over?
Yes.
Are you doing a separate motion then for the other items? That I gave you this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Those are-
Because I was like, wait a minute. All right.
Do we want to do the last item on the agenda first before we do the additions?
If you want to go ahead and read that one then.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board schedule a special meeting on Friday, November 17th, 2023, at 10 o'clock a.m. to be held in the Commissioners' meeting room located at 12611 Ravenwood Drive from B303 for the purpose of holding a statutory group meeting pursuant to ORC 153.36 for the review and approval of plans, drawings, representations, bills of materials, specifications of work, and estimates of the cost thereof in detail and in the aggregate for the proposed John County Courthouse addition.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Okay, we do have two additions to this. First one is the Commissioner's Office requesting the Board request the Prosecutor's Office to review the W.B. Mason contract for furniture for the ADP Board, purchase agreements for property, and to review an engagement letter with official Downey, Albrecht, and Rippenoff. The engagement letter with that is Mark Fischel to review the county's personnel policy with regards to changes we would like to review. The directors have been working on some changes to that, as well as changes that are associated with other legal changes that have occurred.
Okay. All right, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
And then along with that, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the county administrator to execute the engagement letter with official Downey, Albrecht, Rippenoff, once reviewed, approved, and certified.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Okay.
Spoke with Jen. She was waiting to hear back from Ms. Frenchco as to whether or not she was attending. She wanted to know why the request was put out. She said to somebody not able to attend. She must not read her own email, because Mr. Deloy said he was unable to attend. I know Tim said you were able to go. Are you planning to attend, Jim?
Yes.
Are you
No,
able
it's
to
in-
attend?
no.
You know. Okay, so if Frenchco can attend, then you will have a quorum. If not, then we will not have a quorum to have a meeting today at 2 o'clock.
What about Keon Mesa?
He's...
Yeah, he's
Oh, do we need four?
You need 4,
Oh.
so it would be,
We just wait.
the deciding factor is whether
So
Frenchco can be there or not.
instead of driving an hour to Warren, will they let us know?
Yes, I'm going to message Jen.
Okay.
And let her know, and then she'll tell me one way or another what she wants to do. She needs to have a meeting before the first
Yeah.
of December, because she has to go to the Budget Commission meeting on 4th of December.
Yeah, oh boy. Plus she's got other end of year stuff, I think.
Correct. So she's inquiring if we can't do a meeting today, if Thursday, the 30th, would work for you. I know that there's a BOR in the morning at 9, but I don't think that there was anything else on the calendar.
At what time?
There's a Board of Revision that day
Oh,
at 9, but she was asking if that day would work,
Possibly.
Like a 1 o'clock, you think?
But hopefully we
midday or
can
whatever.
get it done today. That would be-
So we're just waiting to hear back from Ms. Frenchco as to whether or not she can do that.
All right, let us know. It's already noon, so it takes an hour to get there.
I know, I just have to message her.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, message me if you don't hear anything from me. She has not sent
Will
me a
you
message yet.
put that meeting on Friday on the calendar for us?
I'll send you out a calendar,
Thank you.
and I will send out
Good.
a notice of the meeting
Okay.
for what it is and for to the distribution message.
10 o'clock right here.
10 o'clock.
One of you can sign, but instead of this thing, you can go in.
Okay.
Any questions, anybody?
Yes, number
Yes, ma'am.
26, Diane Jones. Number 26, that was just stated for the first time by Mr. Morgan. Unfortunately, I didn't get it clearly, and I would be grateful for a reiteration of motion 26, please.
We only have 24 items today on the agenda.
Right.
I know, but we had two more.
25. I
So-
asked that it would be the first one that you read regarding official.
So 25 was a legal review by the prosecutor's office of property descriptions and contracts. And number 26, you said the last item, and unfortunately, I didn't catch it.
26 was a, also legal review from the prosecutor's office for the WB Mason contract for furniture for the ADP board, and the review of the engagement letter with official Downey Albrecht.
I think there was one after that, because I didn't hear it also.
The one after that was just requesting the board approve and authorize the county administrator to execute the engagement letter with official Downey. Once it's been reviewed and approved and certified.
Are you thinking about the one for the policy manual?
That is the one for the policy manual.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to know if I could just make a few statements and then end with a question.
Sure.
As a citizen of Geauga County, I just wanted to say this letter that you all sent out,
Yes.
I really appreciated that. I mean, I'm just going to say my impression was that you all were very much advocating for the citizen in this tax increase, and I did call the office about how to effect some kind of change. They were very helpful. I made those calls. Those were very helpful. But I really wanted to thank you guys for that. As a matter of clarity, I just want to make this statement. I understand from this that there are entities, meaning in our county, Job and Family Services, school boards, townships, etc., entities that will receive an unexpected amount of money from this tax increase. You all have asked some of those entities to decline taking as much of their already approved levies because they are getting an unexpected increase from these tax increases. I understand that many of these entities, like Job and Family Services, Council on Aging, have declined to take less because they know they're getting some from this tax increase. I know my own township.
They did not decline. They're agreeing to it.
They're what?
They're not declining. They agreed to it.
To take less money.
Yeah.
Right, got it. Because they're getting more money from this tax increase.
So they're not getting more money. What it is we took the 25% of the portion that we have authority over as commissioners of that increase was 25%. So what we basically did was we took that number and so that there would be no change as far as, like, if you looked at it, there would be no change as far as the collection of taxes with their reduction and what that increase would do. We would basically be at zero change on our portion of what we had the ability to control. So for those two organizations, we made them whole, and we reduced what the collection was with them. As far as the other entities, we did not have the authority to be able to do anything with those taxing, entities, because it would be the school board, and then it would also be your townships, villages, and cities. So those people were asked by us in a letter that they received, to try to follow suit exactly what we had done, so that the residents, in what we felt was that residents should be able to vote on increases and control that by their vote, not by some inflated, pie in the sky idea of what the increase in property values should be. So what we found last week, and I don't know if there's anybody else, I know that John was here last week, one of the trustees in Clarendon, and they were, I believe, one of the first ones that adopted the same policy. So like in Clarendon, they did their part for what the township received. Now it would be up to the schools to do their part, and to keep it so that in reality in Geauga County, there would be no change, and we would absorb it, and then the taxpayer for the properties would change it. And to be quite honest with you, before that letter went out, I didn't see, I just received my letters this past week, which had all of the property increases of properties that I own in this county, and it was staggering. I mean, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars of increase. And it's, I look at it as, there's going to be a lot of situations with a lot of people having fixed incomes in this community, in our county. They're going to be affected by this. And so that's, to be clear, they did not decline. They went ahead and worked with us because we assured them that we would make them whole. But we just can't control the other entities there.
And so that's where in this letter, where it says you have the right to ask them to do so.
Correct.
It's up to the citizens to ask those entities
Yes.
to be made whole. They're not losing anything.
Right, they're not.
But they're taking it in a different way between the levy and the tax increase.
Right.
And it
The
would
other
be easier on the
situation
citizens.
would have been, not to interrupt you, but the other situation was so those school levies that were in many of the school districts in the county, when they had to do their filing for the levies to be approved, to be able to be on the ballot, would have been prior to this coming out.
Right.
So in a situation like if a school levy has a 1 mil levy, and all of a sudden they never had this additional dollars planned to be able to do that. So some of the school boards, it's almost like there's a double levy. It's like this hidden dollar that you're going to be paying now. It's like if you voted to have a levy for one, it may be actually two that they're going to be receiving because of that influx. And that's where we try to tell people all the time is to be able to go on, the county auditor's website, has where it says, I believe it says where your tax dollars go or something on there, and there's a pie chart that you could look at, and it's basically, it's a circle that shows you what percentage, and you'll see that the schools are always, anywhere between, I would say 50 to 60%, or possibly even a little bit above 60%. So, and then, with the next biggest portion you'll see is the Board of Developmental Disabilities has a big portion of that also. And then our portion that we operate the county on is a very small portion, of the tax dollars that really come into this. So it's real important that you know where your money is spent. Like the perfect example, like library, there's a big portion of dollars that go to the library every year to maintain their libraries. So familiarize yourself with that, and that's unfortunately the thing that we see is the uneducated voter is going to the polls and just voting on emotion, not on knowledge. And that's where, it's a struggle, and that's why we felt that very much to try to put that letter out there, not to affect any of the levies or to affect any of the township, whether it was road levies, school levies, fire levies, police levies. It was just, at the end of the day, the voters should be made aware of what's going on.
And I appreciate that, and I gleaned that, and that's why I'm here. So I just want to make sure then, to close here, thank you so much for that explanation. To me, as an educated voter then, in this particular situation, it would be reasonable for us when the next levies come around, and you don't even have to answer this if it's uncomfortable for you, but to me, I'm thinking it would be reasonable for us as informed voters when the next levies come around to look at who right now is not choosing to make an adjustment to be fair or make it easier on the citizens that are going to be stressed with this tax. I personally would look at, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I know I personally talked to the Chardon Board of Education, And my understanding is that they are going to keep all, they're not making any changes. And so I would be inclined, when this next levy comes up for them, to look back on this as an educated voter and say, well, listen, you know, you had tax levy money. I know from attending the school board meetings, you're not hurting for money, you're doing quite well. And now you have all this additional tax money, so no, I'm not voting for your levy. I mean, that would be...
Right, and I don't want to feel uncomfortable. I mean, the truth is the truth. The reality is this, is if you're, you know, if you're the school, if you're a school or a township that's requesting money for your road project or your fire department, police department, there should be a plan of how many, of why you're asking for that kind of funding. And on the other side of that, if you need more, then you should have been asking for more. So if you feel comfortable to say, I need $1 million, and the voters, you know, trust what you're saying and research and feel comfortable to vote for that, great. But if you're getting $2 million, then how do you justify that? Because you came to us saying you needed $1 million, and now you're getting $2 million. So where does that other $1 million go? And you know the old say, the more you have, the more you spend. So that's something that's always it's a slippery slope to go down, because you then have years. Once you place that, once you put that money into use or whatever, you have to continue to maintain those dollars. And it's just, where does it finally end? And it shouldn't end on the taxpayer's back of something that they never had the ability to vote on.
And to add to that, you know, 3 of the big school districts in the county, I was unaware until just recently of the carryovers that they currently are sitting on. It was almost staggering to hear. You know, I had always assumed that they were, you know, getting by the skin of the teeth with the news that you hear, but and wanting to build new facilities and new schools and new additions to schools. Well, so, you know, a couple of them are sitting on $14 million carryovers. To me, that says, as a homeowner or as a business owner, you know, they could have been accomplishing maybe not the big enchilada project, but they sure as heck could have been taking bites at the apple year after year after year with a carryover like that. So that on top of everything else that you just said, that's the first I've heard that Chardon has said that they're not going to reduce that collection, is very frustrating. That if that's the truth.
It could have changed since I talked to them.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have changed their minds.
Yeah.
But at that
because,
time...
like what Ralph was saying, like this in some regards is just kind of fallen out of the sky on everybody's head. And everybody by now has already budgeted for 2024, correct? So we know what we were getting ready to do, and we've submitted our budgets, and we're comfortable, and we know we can accomplish and provide the services and needs with those dollars. And now basically just this big windfall that everybody now is going to have to dream up new ways to spend it. You know, it's just not right. And
Is it, that was my end question, to tell you the truth, was can citizens get a list of these entities, what, you know,
yeah,
districts, the townships, villages, school boards, that are...
We're actually going to do that. I think that we're actually going to follow up on what the letter was that we wrote, you know, to some of these townships, and try to compile a list too of just, because you're not the first one that's asked us about that, you know, and I think that it would probably be, you know, but they have, I believe, well, they have until...
well, the 15th, I believe, was
the deadline, or the 14th, I think.
For us to reduce our...
For you.
For us. But I believe, you know, there is a list out there that has all the different taxing authorities. I mean, where did you say you live?
Hamden Township, and I did talk with them.
Yeah.
And they are, when I talked to them...
Yeah, I believe they're on board.
Right.
Yep. And then, obviously, the school district, that's the big one. You know, and they make up about 45% of this increase.
Exactly.
So I would be advocating to those school board members to try and find ways to reduce, if not all of it, as much as possible. You know, I mean, unless they can demonstrate a need for that. And I'm sure I'm sure there's things that need to be done, but at the same time, I would ask them what their carryover is going into 2024.
Yeah, during the budget commission in September, this is the first time that the commissioners have learned about this increase mandated by the state of Ohio. All the auditors in the state knew at the latter part of May. But when we have our budget hearings here, each department comes and we, dig into their budget and everything else. But at that time, in September, we asked the budget commission when they come in, the auditor, the treasurer, and the prosecutor, if there's find a way to ease the burden of our taxpayers. And then about a month later, they come up and present it to us, and we accepted that, and it's all up and up. It's legal what we can do, and all it was to soften the big hit right away for our taxpayers. And we're all in this together. We all pay taxes here, and we felt that it just wasn't fair for the average taxpayer to get hit like this from the mandate from the state of Ohio.
Again, thank you for that.
So let me ask you a question. This is something that we've been, as a board, we've discussed the newsletter multiple times, as far as putting out a newsletter. And the response that we received from the letter was overwhelming as far as, just the amount of appreciation of, because I think that people are busy living their lives, trying to go to jobs, trying to keep kids in school, do this, do that. And sometimes I think you take, these things for granted that, not a lot of people are involved in the political world. And many times I don't blame them because I can understand that. But what was your thoughts about that as far as being informed and receiving that? Obviously, it sounds like it's positive, but
this letter, you mean?
Yeah, we've talked in great lengths over the last few years, or more actually, right, Tim? Probably about 6 years now, to try to do that, where we can have something to going out to residents, with information of what, programs and, what we do here. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that would take the politics that most of us can't handle because we're so overwhelmed in the world, and it would winnow it down if done well, in layman's terms and not too wordy and making sense to the average person, which Christine helped me with a lot. I think that would be great. I did wonder if many people even read this because it wasn't addressed to a person personally.
Right.
I was super surprised that this seemed like such, I got the feeling right away that you all were advocating for us. I hardly ever get that feeling from any branch of the government, ever.
Well, we truly were, because we're taxpayers too.
And so I think that would be great. I would think it has to be, if it was like follow this kind of, not to sound corny, but share your hearts for the taxpayers. Because that's kind of what I read in here. It wasn't so dry and it wasn't too wordy and it was accessible to my brain, I think that would be a great idea.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And then you probably received a letter too from the auditor's office too, for in particular to your property, which I thought was helpful.
I also did.
It gives you an estimate and at least let you know what the potential is out there. Hopefully that'll get corrected. But
that was very helpful also, and I thought very nicely worded. And I think more eager to read that after the stage was set with this letter. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you know what? Somebody actually cares. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Oh, well, maybe this person might care too. Yeah. And so I was even more open to the letter from the auditor.
And I think that was a concern, obviously, from the entities under our authority, like Job and Family Services, that this would somehow, come back to, be a detriment to them when they are asking for money for, legitimate purposes in the future. But I think the argument, and I think the auditor said, or the prosecutor said, this demonstrates that you're, working with the taxpayer, and they're more willing to go along with you and on that ask in the future. So, and just to be clear, Department of Aging was considered, we were considering reducing their inside village or their inside collection, but it was just the 2 levies from Job and Family Service. That's what we're going to be doing, so.
Nick, can I ask this a last question, because that Mr. Spiridel, you'd mentioned this, maybe putting out another letter, because my question was, okay, I know about Chardon School Board because I actually called them. Is there a way for you all to let us know who else to call? And what would that way be?
We can put something together with a contact list, and that shouldn't be a problem.
On our website.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful, and I do think, Mr. Lennon, that, I do think that the intent is not to be adversarial. The intent is just to be clear. That's it.
Yeah.
And it would be if we knew more background on what the need was, I think the voters would be more apt to vote for it.
Yep.
So, thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Sorry we took so long today, too, and that you sat here for a couple hours. I don't know. But thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Yes. Does the board know of any of the school systems who have stepped forward?
I don't. I have not heard of anybody. I don't know if any of them have, actually.
A few townships have.
In townships, yes.
Yeah, some of the townships.
Jim, the only thing is she's going to just need your name and city for the record.
Okay, you want me to say it here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, okay. Lois, L-O-I-S, Flynn, F-L-Y-N-N, and my township? Is that what you said?
You said Hamden, right?
Correct.
Just so that she has it.
And I maybe I should add, in case it helps anybody else, when I did call you all from this letter, I said, well, who do I call? And the person that answered the phone, super helpful, said, and I don't know why she said these 2 names to me in particular, or maybe it was everybody, I don't know, but she said Hampton Township and Chardon Board of Education. And so those are the 2 that I called, and she might have just said this because she knew I lived in Chardon.
That's a concern to you.
Yeah, because that would have been both of them that would have affected you in this situation.
Yeah.
So somebody from, and
If somebody
Mr.
called-
Finance,
yeah, from
we don't know what
somebody-
the other boards are, what they have done, and they might have been directed to call their Board of Education if they are
Most
involved.
likely.
Yeah. Okay.
That message be back and said Frenchco is planning to attend, so if the 2 of you are planning to attend tomorrow, we will have a quorum.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
So,
Good.
All right, other than that, anything else? And a motion to adjourn.
Sorry, I was thinking about what we discussed back in the executive session. The authorization from the board to
12:30.
to me as county administrator to sign a contract with the appraiser.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Yeah.
Mr. Lennon?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Yes.
And that's also including the PIN.
Yes.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.